Have you ever questioned the purpose of life and the path to enlightenment? Today we embark on a journey to explore the philosophical depths of Buddhism, a spiritual tradition with roots spanning millennia. At its core, Buddhism offers a path to enlightenment, a state of profound wisdom and inner peace. But how does one tread this path? The answer lies in understanding and embracing the pivotal teachings of Buddhism, forgiveness, letting go, among other pivotal teachings. Forgiveness in Buddhism is a powerful tool to alleviate emotional suffering and foster compassion. It's the balm that heals the wounds of the heart. And then there's the art of letting go, a practice that liberates us from the shackles of material and emotional attachments. It's about embracing impermanence and finding freedom in the transient nature of life. So, are you ready to delve deeper into these teachings? Buckle up for a spiritual journey towards understanding Buddhism and its path to enlightenment. At the heart of Buddhism lies the principle of impermanence. This principle teaches us that everything in this world, every experience, every emotion, every thought, and even our own bodies, are transient. They are not everlasting. They are born, they grow, they change, and eventually they fade away. This is the nature of impermanence. It is a fundamental truth that underscores the Buddhist understanding of life and the universe. Imagine a river. It is never static. Its water flows, its course changes, it may even dry up or flood. Yet it remains a river. It's the same with our lives. We change, we grow, we experience joy and sorrow, health and sickness, success and failure. But through it all, we remain ourselves. Our essence does not change, even though everything around us and within us does. Now, this can be a liberating realization. Often, we cling to things, people or situations, hoping they will last forever. But when they change or disappear, as they inevitably will, we suffer. However, if we truly understand and accept the principle of impermanence, we can free ourselves from this suffering. Acceptance here is not about giving up, it's not about resigning ourselves to fate. Rather, it's about understanding the nature of life, about recognizing that change is inevitable. Acceptance is about embracing the ebb and flow of life and dancing to its rhythm. It's about knowing that happiness is built day by day, filled with ever-changing landscapes. It's about realizing that our essence, our true self, remains unaltered even amidst the flux of life. This understanding allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity. It enables us to appreciate every moment, knowing it is unique and will never come again. It helps us to let go of our fears, our regrets, our attachments, and to live in the present. Acceptance, therefore, is not about resignation, but about understanding the transient nature of life. It's about finding peace and liberation in the impermanent, ever-changing dance of existence. It's about becoming a river that flows freely, embracing every twist and turn with courage and joy. It's about truly living, not just existing. And that is the essence of Buddhism. That is the path to enlightenment. Forgiveness is a powerful tool that Buddhism teaches to alleviate emotional pain. In the pursuit of enlightenment, we cannot ignore the impact of forgiveness. It is not a mere act of pardoning someone's wrongdoings, but an essential practice towards liberation from suffering. As we embark on this journey, we learn that forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to compassion. And compassion, in turn, is the path that leads to enlightenment. Imagine a heart burdened with resentment and anger. Such a heart is like a vessel filled with poison, contaminating our thoughts, our actions, and our very being. But when we forgive, we drain this poison. We cleanse our hearts, making room for love, peace, and understanding. Now let's delve into the wisdom of Buddhist teachings. There's a parable often recited by monks about two ex-prisoners who met after many years. One asked the other, "Have you forgiven our jailers?" The other responded, "No, never." To which the first prisoner replied, "Then they still have you in prison." This story encapsulates the essence of forgiveness in Buddhism. It is not about the transgressor, but about freeing ourselves from the prison of resentment and anger. In another teaching, the Buddha once said, "Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned." This underscores the profound truth that forgiveness is not a gift to the transgressor, but a gift to ourselves. It is a soothing balm to our wounded hearts, a release from the self-inflicted pain of holding on to anger and hate. Forgiveness in Buddhism is not a passive acceptance of harm. It is an active process of understanding and transformation. It demands us to see the imperfections in others as a mirror of our own, fostering a sense of shared humanity and promoting compassion. Through forgiveness, we learn to let go of the narratives of victimhood and resentment. We learn to cultivate compassion, not just for others, but also for ourselves. We learn that every person, including ourselves, is more than the worst thing they have ever done. And most importantly, we learn that forgiveness is not an end point, but a journey. Through forgiveness, we liberate ourselves from the chains of resentment and anger. In Buddhism, letting go is a key element in achieving peace. These words carry profound wisdom, for the act of letting go is both liberating and transformative. It's a journey of relinquishing attachment, not just to material possessions, but also to emotions, thoughts, and expectations that impede our path to enlightenment. Think of it as carrying a heavy bag. The longer you carry it, the heavier it feels until it becomes unbearable. The bag symbolizes our attachments. The weight inside? Those are our desires, fears, and expectations. When we understand the burden we carry, we can start to unpack it, releasing each item, each attachment one at a time. In a material context, letting go means freeing ourselves from the grip of possessions. Buddhism teaches us that clinging to material goods fuels desire, which in turn breeds suffering. When we let go of this attachment, we make room for contentment and peace. We start to realize that our worth is not defined by what we own, but by who we are and how we live our lives. Emotionally, letting go is about releasing negative emotions and thoughts that bind us. Anger, resentment, fear, and regret. These are chains that keep us tethered to the past or anxious about the future. By letting go, we free ourselves to live fully in the present moment. We allow ourselves to experience life as it is, not as we wish it to be. The beauty of letting go is that it's not a one-time act, it's a process, a journey that unfolds with each breath we take. With every release, we move closer to peace, closer to enlightenment. And as we let go, we make space for new experiences, new relationships, and new insights. So consider this. What are you holding on to that's holding you back? What burdens can you release to lighten your load and clear your path? Remember, the act of letting go isn't about losing or giving up. It's about making space for the new, for growth, for peace. Letting go is not about losing, it's about gaining freedom and peace. Enjoying the journey so far? We're glad to have you with us on this path to enlightenment. Remember, every step, every insight brings us closer to understanding peace and prosperity. If you're finding value in these teachings and want to continue exploring the wisdom of Buddhism, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you for helping us foster a community of understanding and compassion. Now, let's continue our journey. Buddhism isn't just about spiritual growth, it also leads to prosperity. This might seem contradictory at first, given Buddhism's emphasis on letting go of material attachments. But prosperity in Buddhism isn't measured by material wealth alone. Instead, it encompasses a broader sense of well-being, peace, and fulfillment. Buddhist teachings provide a blueprint for personal growth and prosperity. They encourage mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom, qualities that can enhance every aspect of our lives. Mindfulness brings us into the present moment, allowing us to fully engage with life. Compassion fosters understanding and connection with others, enriching our relationships. Wisdom, born from deep contemplation, helps us navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Let's consider some examples. Take the story of a successful entrepreneur who, despite having all the material wealth one could wish for, felt a nagging emptiness inside. After turning to Buddhism, he found that mindfulness allowed him to appreciate the present and feel a sense of fulfillment that material wealth couldn't provide. Or consider a woman who struggled with anger and resentment towards those who had wronged her. Through the practice of Buddhist forgiveness, she was able to release these negative emotions and find peace, leading to an uptick in her personal and professional relationships. And then there's the tale of a young man burdened by anxieties about the future. Through the Buddhist understanding of impermanence, he was able to let go of his worries, resulting in increased happiness and success in his pursuits. These stories illuminate how Buddhist teachings can lead to personal growth and prosperity. They underscore the fact that Buddhism is not about renouncing the world, but about engaging with it in a more mindful, compassionate, and wise manner. Buddhism, therefore, is a path to prosperity, both spiritually and materially. It invites us to redefine what prosperity means to us, shifting our focus from mere accumulation of wealth to the cultivation of qualities that lead to true fulfillment and success. But how can we incorporate these Buddhist principles into our daily lives, one might wonder? Well, it's not as daunting as it might seem. First, let's talk about compassion. Compassion is not merely a feeling of sympathy, but an active desire to alleviate others' suffering. It's about understanding that we all are interconnected, and one person's pain is everyone's pain. You can practice compassion daily by lending a listening ear to a troubled friend or helping a stranger in need. Small acts of kindness can go a long way in fostering compassion. Next, we have contemplation. Contemplation in Buddhism is not about deep philosophical musings. Instead, it's a mindful awareness of our thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's about being present and fully engaged in whatever we're doing, whether it's eating a meal, doing our jobs, or simply breathing. We can practice contemplation by setting aside a few minutes each day for meditation. This quiet time helps us to tune into our inner selves and observe our thoughts without judgment. Lastly, living in the present. Buddhism teaches us that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, but the present is all we have. When we're constantly worrying about the past or the future, we're missing out on the beauty of the here and now. We can cultivate the practice of living in the present by focusing on our breath, appreciating the small joys of life and letting go of worries and regrets. Remember, these practices are not about achieving perfection or reaching some lofty spiritual goal. They're about cultivating a sense of peace and contentment in our daily lives. They're about living mindfully and compassionately, moment by moment. By incorporating these practices, we can live more mindfully and peacefully. In a world filled with chaos, Buddhism offers a path towards peace and enlightenment. As we journey through life, we are reminded of the impermanence of all things. It is through acceptance of this transient nature that we find liberation and inner peace. The power of forgiveness in Buddhism is a balm for emotional wounds, fostering compassion and empathy towards others. It unburdens us, allowing us to move forward with a lighter heart. Letting go, whether of material possessions or emotional baggage, is another step on the path to enlightenment. It frees us from the chains of attachment and opens our hearts to the beauty of the present moment. Buddhism encourages personal growth and prosperity, not in terms of material wealth, but as spiritual enrichment. It offers practical teachings that can be woven into the fabric of our daily lives. May this understanding guide us towards a path of peace, compassion, and enlightenment. As always, thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you in our next video.